at you with yet another DJs BrewTube beer review. You know what, guys? Tonight I'm going to review probably one of the craft beers that I've been drinking the longest, or at least that my beer memory tells me I've been drinking the longest, and I've enjoyed probably one of the longest beers. And it's a beer from DogFish Head out of Milton, Delaware, US of A. Yay, yay! And what beer is it from these guys? It's their Indian Brown Ale. Now, as the name suggests, this is a brown ale, but it's not any sort of brown ale, not your average thing, you know? It's one that stood the test of time because of its cool recipe. And when I say stood the test of time, it's been in their line since 1999. Now, why is this beer different? Well, you see I've got three different style of beers here. I have an IPA, a brown ale, and a Scotch Ale, or wee heavy. Well, this beer is a combination of those three styles. Clocks in at 7.2% ABV and 50 IBUs. Now, when they make this beer, they dry hop it continuously like they do their 60 and 90 Minute IPA. So it's a hoppier brown ale, but it's got those big malty characters of a brown ale and also a wee heavy, that kind of counteract and jive and just make everybody happy when they mix in with those hops. Now, for adjuncts in this beer, and also probably to beef up the alcohol, they use organic brown sugar, and then for some more flavor, probably kind of going towards the, wee heavy side of things, they use aromatic barley. So, I'm going to pop the top on this bad boy and get in the glass and tell you what's up with the Indian Brown Ale. Let's see. Boom. Awesome hiss off the top. Lovely collectible Dogfish Head crown. I don't know why I didn't review this before. I guess it's one of those beers, like I say, it's, it's there, you forget about it, and I've been drinking it for probably 10 or 12 years, something like that. And it's one of the first beers I really remember seeking out as craft beers. This and probably Midas Touch. Back in the day, I was really digging on those. So, let's get an appearance on this. It's a fairly dark brown color. There's plenty of ruby and amber hints coming, like amber orange hints coming through it. It had about a finger head. It's quickly settled down to about a half finger when I swirl it. Getting, tons of alcohol legs actually coming down, and no glass lacing to speak of at this point. Point of drinking right now, probably about like 48 degrees. That's where I like to drink this beer. Like I said, I got a lot of experience with this one, but it's probably been about a year since I drank it. So let's get a nose on this and tell you what's up in the aroma department. Right up in front, it smells like a hoppy wee heavy a lot to me. You get those rich, deep caramel notes complemented by a bunch of like piney and grassy hops. Caramel, toffee, maybe a little bit of like chocolate in the background and raisins. And even a bit of coffee. There's a lot of complexity to this beer. For what it is, people see brown ale, and that, I think, throws them off, and that's why I think it's a beer that a lot of folks don't take notice of, especially if they've been drinking craft beer for a while. But it's a lovely smelling beer. There's a lot of layers of aroma, and it smells like that hybrid style they're talking about. Brown ale, wee heavy, and IPA all clashing together, but when they clash, they actually meld together, and they make this like lovely aroma. But I'm diving into this, guys. I like this beer. I'm going to tell you that straight up. But let's see what I still think after a year of not drinking it. Cheers. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Awesome glass lacing. This is why this is one of my favorite Dogfish Head beers, because it tastes like the hoppiness that you get in the 60 minute. Okay, not 90 minutes, not that extreme. And then that hoppiness, that you're getting like some pine, even like a bit of like citrus rind, a little bit like the bitter citrus pith on the inside. That's what the bitterness on this beer feels like to me. But then you got the caramel, the toffee, a little bit of coffee, and like dark cacao, like high cacao chocolate in the background. And it all just comes together in your mouth, man. It melds really well. Got a medium body. No alcohol in the aroma, no alcohol in the taste, and the combination of like herbal sort of grassy bitterness from the hops, and that bitterness from like the coffee and almost like burnt sugar bitterness makes you come back for another drink because it dries your palate out. And this is a beer that you can complement with a lot of foods. You can drink them back to back, and these will sneak up on you because they're 7.2%. But what's not to like? So you hear me geeking out, enjoying this flavor, and I gotta give it a grade now. What grade do we give it? Well, Rate Beer gives it a 98, and Beer Advocate gives it a 92. I'm gonna give this an A. I'm gonna give it a 95. It's a beer I've been drinking for a long time. I've always thought it was a top-notch beer, and I continue to think it's a top-notch beer. My opinion hasn't changed, and when you got about a decade drinking a beer and your opinion hasn't changed, it must be pretty damn good for you anyway. Some people may not like this beer, but I really dig it. So, what do you think about this beer? Have you had it? If you had, let me know, man. I love that back and forth. I like hearing your opinion, too. Not just mine, though I do like to hear myself talk. Obviously, since I sit and talk in front of a camera and do beer reviews for you. And I also like it a lot when you think globally and drink locally and support the craft beer movement. Help this thing keep growing. Help Dogfish Head keep making off-centered ales for off-centered people like we all are, us beer geeks. So we can keep that variety coming and that spice of life flowing, guys. So, to the next DJs BrewTube, thanks a million to each and every one of you. Please remember to rate, comment, subscribe, and hit that like button. And until then, I got a bunch of Dogfish Head drinking love for you. And a big what? Yeah, that's right, a big peace out!